What's going on, Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, YouTube subscribers, friends? I've been steady doing retakes, trying to get this right for the longest. My computer had pop-ups. The software. I guess I kind of tried to upload my app a little faster than it's supposed to. As soon as my computer boot, I'm immediately clicking and trying to record. So I guess I ain't allowing all the programs to fully develop. But it's running smoother now, it's running better. So let's get to it. So man, I'm gonna try to cram this and make it quick. I always say that sometimes it go 25, almost 30. But I be really getting into it and just pouring out information as necessary to give people insight and understanding about whatever topic that I'm discussing. So I'm good. All right. But man, I wanted to talk to the young brothers, the young Hebrew Israelite brothers, and male and female, but it's majority male, that's participating in violence and joining gangs and just being random petty by people that's trying to make it and trying to have something out of life. First thing I want to say, when it comes to gang activity, there's really no major benefits other than harming or hurting somebody. And I know people that's in gangs from the past. I really don't associate with them like that. But they deal with me differently than when they doing their thing or whatever, or participate in whatever they activity they got going. But the people I know that's in it, they suffering, they hurting, they not doing well financially, they miserable. But when it comes to like wanting to rob or burglarize or get into something to benefit them and the rest of the gang, then that's when that gang decides to join in on it. Okay, let me get in on this because they getting something out of it for themselves. But when it comes to coming together to help one individual with them and their family and their way of being, everybody is on the same page where they all struggling, they all hurting. That's the whole point of them getting together to go rob or burglarize a home or something, so everybody can get something out of it. Otherwise, if they all had it like that, then they would come together to help out a member of their gang. But they can't. So there's just something to think about. You know, you want to join a corporation instead of a gang. You want to be a member of something, be a member of a corporation where you do have benefits, where you are being taken care of. You got insurance for you and your family. You bringing in a weekly or bi-weekly income to be able to pay bills, to be able to travel, to be able to buy things you want. So you won't have to rob anybody. So you won't have to steal or kill or whatever the case may be. You want to try to avoid getting a felony, period, and staying out of trouble. So you can enjoy life to the fullest like you want, instead of being trapped where you done got felonies or misdemeanor, whatever it may be, and you really can't move up or progress like you want because of your record, because it's already hard enough for black men in particular to try to move up in the corporate world. You already got the odds against you because of your race. Even though you not one of the ignorants that's going out committing crimes and felonies, you're not part of that lifestyle. That's not your lifestyle at all. But yet, because you coming from that ethnicity, that background of the race as a whole can affect you. And that's why you got to kind of earn. Respect is earned, period. But you have to work a little bit harder to earn respect because you're already being stereotyped because of your race or ethnicity. So that right there is a battle within itself. So when joining a gang, you actually make it harder when having a record of felony. And in addition to having a bad record, they find out you was part of a street gang. They really put you at the bottom of the totem pole because they look at it, you not that stereotype, they was right. It's like you proved them right instead of proving them wrong. So you got different, I say a percentage of brothers, male and female, within a race that's fighting battles to prove the critics wrong about who they are as a person instead of them proving them right by being fitting that stereotype that they are already trying to categorize a lot of brothers and some sisters in. Even though in the corporate world, black women do have a sort of bit of advantage, but more so clerical positions. I mean, you really don't see them up too high as far as in certain positions or whatnot. Having that opportunity, but the stereotyping, the battles are real. The profiling is real when it comes to on the streets or in the corporate world. So that right there is a battle or challenge within itself. So when you join gangs, which really is no help at all, you only hurting yourself instead of helping yourself. Now I understand that certain neighborhoods or cities where it's high poverty, some young brothers or sisters feel like their safety or security in order to be able to maneuver in their city or their neighborhood, that being a part of a street gang is part of their protection. So since they see that a majority of whatever gang is in their neighborhood or their city, they figure, hey, this is the only way I can feel safe. But you're actually giving away your freedom. You're giving away your freedom because you end up being instructed to do something that's immoral that's going against your conscience. So now you're fighting against your conscience because you're being told to do something that you know is wrong, you feel extremely uncomfortable doing, but because you're a part of this game, hey, you you knew what you signed up for or got initiated in. And not literally signed up, but it metaphorically speaking. You knew what this was all about. So now you're being put to the test. Now you're under pressure. And it's like, man, I really don't want to do this. This wrong. And especially if it involves going against somebody that you know. And then it's like, man, I really want to do this out. So it's so much to take in consideration. Also, when you look at, where am I going with this? Yeah, that's the point I want to make. Also, when you see somebody or a group of people going against an individual for doing what's right, they doing what's right and they prosperous from doing what's right. They fought the battles in life in order to win out of life and doing well for themselves. And you have people hating on them simply because they're doing well for themselves. They're not going around provoking anyone to anger. They're not big-headed. They're not being flashy. They just simply trying to make it and have a good life. And they winning. And you see the fruits of their labor. They got this nice, this nice, this nice. Got a lot of nice things that they worked hard for to get. And they enjoying the fruits of their labor. And you see people hate on that individual, because they just want to have something out of life. They just want to live a nice life. When you join in a group of people like that, in Psalms 1, it says, don't sit in the council of the wicked. Don't congregate with people who are wicked. When you join people like that, you looking at your future. This is a question you got to ask yourself. Do I want to have something out of life? If you do want to have something out of life, then you joining in a group of people that's hating on somebody that's just simply trying to live a good life, you looking at your future. You looking at you. If this is what you want out of life, you are looking at yourself. Because now you got to think and say, well, hey, if I want to get on their level, if I want to have what they got out of life, that means I'm going to encounter the exact same thing. So you should learn from it. If I see somebody hating on somebody for no logical reason at all, other than out of jealousy, then that gives me an education about that person or these people. It makes me think like, okay, they ain't do nothing to these people. They didn't provoke them to anger. They just minded their business. They just living their life. But these people are hating on them or going against them. Why is that? Because it's something more personal. It's more personal insecurities or esteem issues that they got going. Not that that person did anything wrong to them, but because They want to be where they at or jealous of this person. So you joining in on something like that, you looking at your future. You looking at you. Because it's like, hey, they going against this person. So that means that I get on that level, they'll be going against me that way too. So it's looking at that. Or I remember as a kid, I used to, and I wasn't no real bad kid, but I did mischievous things trying to fit in. And like certain neighborhoods, like neighbors complain, throwing trash in the yard and stuff like that. So you doing mischievous things. I don't care. I don't give a bleep. But then when I got older, having my own place, I encountered what I did when I was younger from other kids that was around my age. So I experienced the trash being thrown in and the mischievous kids. So little did I know that, hey, you seeing this guy with this nice home or this couple or whomever, this nice home keeping their yard up, and you doing it being negligent of how they feel or their property. Now that you of age and you having a nice home, this, that, and the third, now you encountering yourself from other young kids that was around your age. So it's like now I understand why they felt the way they felt. Because me being in their position now. So I was like, I get it now. So the same way, that's a perfect example where you looking at yourself. So what you doing to others now, as far as the youth participate in foolishness and those who older that know better, you are doing that to your future self. Because what goes around comes around, right? So you burglarizing and being random petty towards people that did nothing to you. So when you get on that level, if you get on that level, if God finds favor with you and you make a transition in your life and you start to go on a positive path, when you get on that same stage or that level as that person you was being petty towards or the homes burglarized or people that you robbed, what you think gonna happen to you? Them same people that you joined in doing wrong towards others, they gonna target you now. It was a basketball player in Memphis named Antonio something. I can't remember his name. He played for the Memphis Grizzlies. He ended up going back to his old neighborhood, trying to shoot dice with his old friends from the hood, and they end up plotting and planning against him to rob him. So they end up robbing and killing him out of jealousy because his background changed. He's a basketball player now. He's an NBA star now. So what is he doing in the alley with his friends shooting dice? But see, he was looking at these are my roots and I hadn't forgot my homeboys. But your homeboys are no longer your homeboys now because your lifestyle or background does not match their background. See, a lot of people don't look at the foreground. They look at the background. Your background changed, they figure you changed. Your lifestyle changed, but you the same character. But everybody is not mature enough to realize that. So when he came back, letting them know, hey, what's going on, fellas, da da da. You know, I'm still the same guy, just different background. They didn't want to accept it because they jealousy possessed their mind. Because hey, he got this much money, get this cars, he got this career. So the only thing they was focused on was his background, not him. They was looking at, we want that lifestyle. We still in the hood and we got to deal with this and he don't. They weren't looking at how committed or dedicated of a friend he was. They were just simply looking at you doing way better than us. Hey, I fought for this. I earned this. But they didn't want to see that. They looking at no matter how much you went through, how many bridges you crossed, how many battles you fought, it's where you at right now. Not what you went through, but where you at right now. So it's a lot bigger than y'all realize. It's all about making what's best for you and making wise decisions early. So I understand people being petty and you feel like you got to prove a point, but the point you want to prove is in the corporate world. Is I am somebody. I am intelligent. I am well capable of doing whatever I put my mind to. That's what you want to prove. You don't want to prove to some idiot that really don't mean nothing, that hold no value on how tough you are. You want to prove how tough you are in the real world, trying to make it in life, where you're not letting the pressures of insecurity and failure get to you. You're not letting the pressures of stereotypes get to you. You're not letting the critics get to you. You want to prove how tough you are with that pressure. Not prove how tough you are about pulling the trigger, because it's easy to pull the trigger, but it's real hard not to pull the trigger when you're under pressure. When you know that's the easy way out. I can prove a point. Boom! Yeah, I'm tough. If you were tough, you would never pull it in the first place. You were tough. Even though I can do this, I'm not. I'm gonna walk away. That's the strength part. But see, a lot of us think that walking away is weakness. It's not. It's strength. Pick and choose your battles wisely. That's what you gotta think about. Is this worth it? Is this worth it? Am I gonna gain? Am I gonna benefit from it? That's what you gotta think about. That's part of being mature. That's part of being an adult. Where you learn how to sacrifice and you learn how to have discipline. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes people get pushed to the edge. Even the most disciplined and decent people can sometimes end up cracking, because nobody's perfect. We can only hold so much. So that's why those who are fellow believers, we put the things we can't handle in God's hands, and the things we can handle, we try to maintain and manage. So I just wanted to share that. Join a corporation, not a gang, and pick and choose your battles wisely. You want to prove you tough, survive, make it in this world, be a winner out of life without submitting to wrongdoing. That's tough. So I hope I blessed and gave somebody some strength. So peace be unto you all in Christ's life.